What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. And today, we're talking Werewolf by Night, Marvel's special presentation, Werewolf by Night. Let me give you guys the synopsis. Wait. First, I'm gonna do this in for the YouTubers listening. We're gonna make this part special. We're gonna turn this into we're in black and white now, guys. How cool is that? I'll bring us out in a second. It's in post production. Just look around you like you're in black and white.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's Werewolf by Night.
It feels different.
It does feel different. uh, Werewolf by Night synopsis follows a lycanthrope superhero who fights evil using the abilities given to him by a curse brought on by his bloodline. Wow, this synopsis wasn't a spoiler at all. Wow.
Wait, but it also
that's the synopsis.
But it's also just the last 10 minutes of the movie.
So it spoils the end of the movie, but gives you
what a crap synopsis.
We're gonna have to really give a recap here, but we'll give our spoiler-free thoughts first, and then we'll jump in. What did you guys think? Spoiler-free Werewolf by Night.
I'll go first. I actually dug it because it means nothing to the cinematic universe, and I'm kind of glad of it. And anyone who's saying, "Wow, this movie changed everything," what are you talking about?
Yeah,
it stands alone, and that's why I enjoyed it. Wasn't trying to be more or less than it was.
Rich?
I mean, they said it was going to make some changes, or at least things are going to be anyway.
What a change!
I don't know. I
don't either. That's why
I feel like the Midnight Suns, if that comes out, things are going to be part of that.
Right? The game?
I mean, we added some characters.
Yeah, isn't it going to be a movie?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
don't know.
No,
it's a game.
I know it's a game. I thought there was going to be a movie or something.
I don't know.
Or a series.
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm not sure.
That's a game.
But I'm not sure. I don't know why I wanted to hate it, but I kind of enjoyed it a little bit.
Rich didn't want to hate it. In the chat, Rich was ready to rip it apart.
I was like, yo, like
there's a lot of heat on your text, Rich.
We pulling right now. Well, my fault. We pulling the Audible right now. Like I was like, hold on, wait a minute.
You wanted to watch, and you did watch Hellraiser anyway, but you're like, fine, I'll watch this.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, okay. There was a lot of talking. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Overall, I enjoyed it.
Okay, Chris.
I think it told the line of being campy without being corny, and I enjoyed that.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it a lot. I think they did a good job of. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, me too. I really liked it. I loved how much it was a throwback to those Universal monster movies. I really enjoyed the feel of it, and I don't know if it sets anything up, more or less to say these are people that maybe Blade can play with later. You know, possibly we're opening up more of the horror supernatural side of the MCU, so we'll see. But I enjoyed the fact that it was a standalone, that we weren't sitting here waiting for something like Jack said. I appreciated that. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. We'll jump into this recap right here. So, first of all, the whole opening I dug because they made it look like the opening to a Universal monster movie, which I thought was pretty fun. Okay, I'm not going to jump forward, but I will say I love that it was black and white because I think that's what made them be able to double down on the violence. This is probably the most violent MCU thing.
My wife said she couldn't believe that this was on Disney because some of those battles at the end, it's
sword to the head. Yeah. But it's black and white.
That's exactly the moment we're talking about.
You don't see blood. Yeah. So I think they were able to get away with it on Disney Plus because it was black and white. You know, it's not as gory.
Yeah, it's not because it can't be red.
Right.
There's no red blood. So
right. And we pretty much pick up with all these pretty much monster hunters, man, and they've gathered because Ulysses Bloodstone passed away. He was like the higher up monster hunter, and he had this bloodstone. His bloodstone was able to like pretty much help him fight monsters. It can weaken them, also pisses them off too. And he dies. We need to find out who is going to get the bloodstone. So a bunch of individual monster hunters show up, and basically they're going to go into this Hunger Games of there's a monster here. It's still every man for himself. But whoever kills this monster and retrieves the bloodstone will now have the bloodstone. And then you got and then I forgot what's her name, Elsa shows up,
Elsa.
and she is the daughter of Ulysses, but she went away. She didn't want nothing to do with his life. Her stepmom's running this thing, and she's like they have beef, and pretty much is sitting around. Now I was rolling because she started listing off all the kills, and she went to the black dude, 27 kills, and he like kind of smirked. And then you hear everyone else's number. I'm like, dude, you should be feeling ashamed of yourself. He said 27, 32, 57, 100 kills. I'm like, dude. But I thought it was pretty. I enjoyed the setup. I enjoyed the look of it. We meet Jack, who has like some kind of tattoo on his face. Jack, is that in the comic book? Does he have? Did you like markings on his face from what you looked through?
Well, I was never a big man wolf comic book collector. The one I have, though, he never transforms. He's just the wolf the whole time.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's
Cool.
got like sci-fi. I mean, they're on like space pods and stuff, so the whole vibe is very different.
Okay. So pretty much she tells them the rules. They go out there and do it. Now, for me, guys, I was like, am I going to like this? Because obviously we know Jack's a werewolf. Obviously we know he's the monster here. Does this material work knowing that? And for me, it did. I enjoyed the characters and it was at stake enough. And that dude with the beard, was he hitting on Jack? I couldn't tell. Like he was like,
No. I think when he came in, he was just
excited,
embracing
excited.
the gravity of the moment and stuff like that. And then it all changed. So once they got into that garden, he was honored to be there with him. But then once that garden came, he's like, yo, no friends, and it's all business.
And I think because Jack, the number he had of kills was 100, which was like 40 something more than the guy under him. So it's almost like this dude's the threat here.
Yep.
Then you're sent out here into these Hunger Games. So pretty much they're going. Jack bumps into when I saw a Man Thing, I was like, that's freaking dope.
And Man Thing looked, they didn't take any liberties. It was Man Thing look just like they said the cover of the comic Jack showed. In our
Really
collector's corner, Jack, if you can hold it up.
He's so traditional, you know?
Dude. And funny. And we didn't understand a word he said, but we understood everything he said.
Yep.
Ted. We find out his name is Ted. So basically,
Which in the comics, his name is Ted, right, Jack?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, all that's accurate. You know, funny thing about Man Thing, Swamp Thing came out within a few months of each other. They both.
Yeah.
I wonder, coincidence or was someone talking on the inside?
Well, it's funny how
things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you see that happen in movies all the time, where you're like, "Isn't that the same movie?" And they come out with
Doom Patrol and X-Men. Doom Patrol came out like 6 months before X-Men did, and it's like,
did it?
Yeah, smart guy in a wheelchair, leading a group of like superheroes with powers that make them like outcasts. We learned that Jack is there, like I said, to save Man Thing, his friend, from this hunt. He has an explosive. He's going to put it in the wall. In the meantime, Elsa's like, she's fighting because these hunters are fighting each other. She gets trapped in a tomb.
Mm-hmm.
In a tomb. In the mausoleum. Jack goes in there. He hears that she's in there. No. Why does he go in there?
Because
he just opens the door.
Because he's being
chased.
Yeah, he's being chased, yeah.
Okay, so Jack and Elsa are stuck in the tomb, and they start bonding, and he pretty much tells her he's not about this life, right? He's not about this life. He don't want the stone. He wants to free his friend Ted. So then, what's weird to me here, did she not know the key was in there the whole time?
Right.
That's kind of weird. Because she was like sitting there talking to him. They have their whole conversation, and she goes...
Came back to her.
She was like, did it?
And it's kind of the way they played it. Like, oh yeah, my aunt, whatever. She kept the key.
To the tomb because my dad said, like, in case she ever wanted to get out.
She was looking at all the names, and then when they were thinking about how to ways to get out, then it came to her. Yeah, it just came to her.
Yeah. Okay.
And she saw it.
It's kind of like, you probably would have thought of that already.
I was like, that's convenient.
I mean, if it's life or death, anyways, you kind of have to let it go. So basically, they get out. He goes to blow the wall. This thing is hilarious. It's violent and it's freaking funny. He goes to blow the wall and he just can't get that thing to stick on the wall.
Nope.
Kind of did, yeah. Made sense, didn't make sense.
It's like,
yeah. Why did he just put it in the crack?
Eventually he
Cut out
does.
because that giant crack was just sitting there the whole time. Maybe the first time when he threw it and it didn't stick, you're like, okay, but then the second, third time, you're like, why didn't you stick it in the crack right then?
Yeah, just stick it in the crack, bro.
It's comedies and threes.
Come on, the crack.
That's what he said in prison. Like what?
Wow, you elaborated on that.
Whoa.
Just put it
You're
in the
trying to be-
crack, bro.
Who's trying to be under the radar? We knew what we was talking about.
Man.
For those of you wondering, that is what we call spoon feeding.
Yes. Wait, I don't think you and Rich talking about the same thing.
Whoa, what?
Anyway, moving on.
Moving on. Yes.
Explosive in the crack, it goes off.
Yes.
Ted jumps out of the wall.
Okay, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
So yeah. So Man Thing, he takes off. Dude is out. Like,
Right.
what about your friend? He's gone. He don't care. He's out.
But not before they take the stone out of his back.
And not before we see how powerful this thing is. Holy crap. Because he kills oh my gosh.
The Viking dude.
Yeah, I didn't know. I imagine he was super strong. I don't know about much in the comics. I thought he was super strong, but I didn't realize he can like inflame you with his grit.
Lava
Yeah,
power.
That's why when you're walking around, you say pause again. That's why when they were walking around, he had like his handprints in literally in the walls of the building and stuff.
But he's not just super strong. He's like in tune with like some type of celestial force or something like that.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
the swamp that he was in was like magical.
Super. Yeah. It was interesting. I guess I just assumed he was just strong, but no. Yeah. So he goes. Jack is there, and because of the freaking bloodstone, it goes off. Why did he go? I guess he doesn't know about it. I guess he doesn't know much about it.
I guess he didn't know. Yeah, it
Are
reacted.
you gonna grab it,
because he's a
give it to
monster.
Elsa?
Well, they said like monsters respond to this. Maybe he thought in his human form he was fine, or maybe he didn't understand it. I'm like, why did you?
I don't know why he didn't jump out and run when Ted took off.
Yeah, why didn't he just bounce?
Right.
The mission was done. He should just.
Why didn't Ted just scoop him up in his arms and run him out of there like a little baby? I don't know. Basically, he touches that thing. They all learn he's a monster. They throw him in the cage with Elsa because she's like, you helped this monster. And they couldn't wait to see what this monster is. Jack's in the cage like, yo, it's no problem, man. Full moon's not for 5 days. Surely we can figure out how I'm going to get out of this in 5 days. She's like, you idiot. That bloodstone can turn you in 5 seconds. And his face goes, uh-oh. Now, this is what I leaned in on this. Because I couldn't wait to see what is this wolf, man.
Yeah.
And they do it. They come in like freaking druids or whatever, and she blasts the bloodstone at him, and he turns into a werewolf. But he gets her scent first and says, do not break eye contact. And yo, guys, okay. His transformation was one of the dopest things I've seen, I think, on screen this year. Because it was on her. You saw it in shadows, and the camera just pushed into her horror as we heard him transforming in the
Very
background.
Hitchcock-esque.
Dude, like that delivered way more than any CGI thing they could have come up with.
Well,
That hit.
And he didn't look great as a CGI werewolf man. So seeing her as actually way more eloquent a solution anyways.
Man. And to see, he said, don't break eye contact. So we see her, she's forcing herself to watch this happen as everything in her body's like, look away or her cower.
Yeah, because her whole body's cowering, but she's looking and she's holding onto the cage.
And like not even blinking as she's watching this dude's body get torn apart and put back. That was fire. That whole thing was fire for me.
And he went through that cage like it was paper.
Yeah. And it was dope because it was all smoke. So we never see him blast through and they're all looking around. They look up, there's a hole, and light work.
Loose.
Yeah.
Turns into light work. This dude starts freaking throwing these people around, slashing them, biting them, all the blood. Can you imagine? I wonder if they'll come out, if this ever comes out in Blu-ray or whatever, if they'll give us a color copy, just like the bloody copy.
They won't. They definitely won't. No, it takes so they definitely want to look terrible.
Yeah,
I know, but
it's a black and white for a
people
reason.
buy it.
Yeah.
It only works with Justice League. It doesn't work the other way around.
It was but okay, fine, fair. You're right. Disney won't take that cash grab. They turned Pinocchio. Okay, they're not in the. So then, like he's going through everybody, man, and it's violent and it's gruesome. But these guys still think they have a chance. So like, eventually one guy tries to run away, like does the logical thing, and tries to run away. But he goes through all
He
of them.
could have gotten away
because that door was closing mad slow.
Yeah, he could just done the Indiana Jones rolled underneath and been out.
But he wouldn't even have to roll because it was going so slow. He could have just ducked out if he wanted to.
I actually, if I'm being honest, are we still in the recap? Are we talking about it?
Both.
Well, then I got to talk about this moment you're kind of talking about. I actually had problems with the combat choreography of the way the werewolf was fighting everybody. Because he was fighting like he was a kung fu master. But he's a feral beast that just wants to rip and snort and tear things apart. And so when he was doing all these kind of like parkour, Black Widow moves, I was like, why are we seeing this again?
You've never seen a wolf fight in real life. Obviously.
Yes, so, you're right. All right, I apologize. You got me there.
So no, let me say something because this just happens to coincide. We're having a bobcat problem in my development where I live now. So we've been watching a lot of videos of bobcats, and if you watch bobcats jump, they're super duper like agile and do that parkour stuff you're talking about. So I don't necessarily think that because he's a feral beast, he can still be a feral beast and have that agility still.
Go back and watch. I'm not talking about his agility. I mean, there is a internet video of a cat that literally does a backflip while it's walking behind two people. I got no problem with cats being agile or wolves or dogs or whatever the creature is. I'm talking about the intelligence in which he's fighting with. He's like got kung fu moves he's doing. It's not like a beast that's just berserking.
Do you think this is their way of... When I watched it, I felt the same way you did, and I was thinking, it's because you want him to be a superhero later. So he kind of has to kind of be superhero. He can't.
Even the Hulk, the best the Hulk could start to do is, and it's what the werewolf, it's what Jack says in the cage to the lady. He goes, "This kind of worked once. It's our only shot. Let me smell you. Let me get your scent on me, and don't break eye contact. Maybe you got a chance. I don't know. I've been able to focus it once. All right. So we know that he's a mindless, raging creature then. So then how are you moving like someone who's
trained?
Yes, exactly.
It wasn't reckless. It wasn't sloppy. It was extremely precise.
I mean, it was violent, but it wasn't like animal visceral.
Yeah, it was like,
I get that.
Sweep the leg and backflip.
This was the Disney Marvel combat choreographer who's done 20 films and knows what he's doing and knows that this is going to look great on camera, but it didn't feel raw and violent and dirty, and that word I like so much. It was lacking texture.
I agree. It would have been nice if they see him more feral, but I wonder like how far super they're going to make him if he ever comes back later.
Because where's that moment where he's just like ripping at a guy and he's so like lost in the ripping whoever apart, and they've already kind of gone that far anyways, that you forget about everything else. You got blinders on. All that exists is me demolishing this thing that's in front of me, and the only reason I stop is because someone else hits me in the side, and then I'm after that thing.
Yeah, he was very like, I'm fighting a group of guys, not like I'm tearing through whatever I see.
Yeah.
And I won't stop until I see something else.
Right.
Ooh, Jack. Good point. So then, you know, he kills everything and everybody, and then there's just him and Elsa, and he gets on top of her. And I love that they made his eyes still human, like the connection they have. And then, you know, she touches his face, and he doesn't. And then Man-Thing's like, dude, I was behind me this whole time. He comes in. I was gone. I look back and he wasn't there. So like, if you don't come back and get him. So then he came back, and then we saw him freak. Who did he burn? He burned up her stepmother.
The stepmom, yeah, she grabbed her, freaking cooked her.
His
And
power
tossed her pretty hard.
Like, man, I loved the violence of this thing, man. If this is Disney saying we're just getting you ready for Blade, just getting you ready for something that's going to be really bloody, it's warming your palate up, and for Deadpool. So then they go off, man. Elsa has the blood. She has the bloodstone. She's sitting in the chair. Julie Garland music plays. We have the Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz moment, yeah.
Yeah, it goes, and color comes in, and then we see Ted and Jack sitting on a log talking about getting sushi later.
I owe you that. I owe you that.
I owe you that. I love that.
Why when Man-Thing was in black and white, he looked. But when he was in black and white, he looked almost cheap. But when he was in color, he looked freaking great. He didn't look cheap to me in black and white? You thought he looked cheap in black and white? Man. I think, I thought it was drastically different. Like the quality of the CGI was drastically different.
The shading and the color and the subtleties within the texture you're able to do. You lose a lot in black and white. It adds something else because your focus shifts on what you're watching. But I mean, look at this stupid brick. That in black and white is just a wash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
I love how the bloodstone was red the whole time. I love the bloodstone was red the whole time.
Yeah,
I made it like that's a nice
its importance the whole time because they did the same thing in what was it, Schindler's List and a few other movies.
And they made the blood red when everything else was black and white.
Well, you accent a story element,
right?
Mm-hmm. And we saw it in Sin City as well.
Exactly, and it's what that comic we reviewed, Rabbit's Badass Song. Rabbit's Badass Song with a pop of color, would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Black and white was a choice, not a default.
Yeah. I thought this was great. I love that it's his own thing, and maybe we'll get another special presentation down the line. I do not need a whole series of this. I don't think I need a 2-hour movie of this. This kind of sat perfect.
It was 55 minutes, and that includes the 20 minutes of
tight. I didn't stay till after the credits. Did you guys?
Nothing. None. Yeah, I did. Nothing.
There's nothing? Okay.
No. All right.
I should have known better with Marvel, but I didn't. So what are your final thoughts on this bad boy, man?
I dug it. I thought it was a great.
I surprisingly liked it. I liked it better than Doctor Strange, although arguably Doctor Strange had a lot more going on as a film. I liked it because it was simple. I liked it because it wasn't trying or pretending to change the universe or the game or anything that we know about or add to it. It's like, here's just 2 more characters.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was different. It was a fresh take on something that we kind of haven't seen from Marvel before. And it was nice. It was fun. It was a good time. I like the format. Where it's longer than just a half hour, but it's not a series. It's not a movie. Just this kind of stuff where it worked well in this format, and I would be definitely down to see more specials like this.
Yeah, well, we know we're getting a Guardians one. There's going to be a holiday Guardians of the Galaxy special, so we're getting that from James Gunn and the whole crew. Rich,
do we need that?
Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it for the most part for what it was. After I watched it, I had to do a little bit deep diving into certain things, and I liked that a little bit more than when I was watching on the scene. Like, for example, Man-Thing, he is the guardian of the nexus of all realities, right? And then people were like, "Oh, well, if he guards the realities, where was he during the whole Wanda and Doctor Strange thing?" And this probably answered that. He was probably captured. He had the stone on his back. That's why he wasn't performing his duties. So I feel like they probably could have thrown him in there. If he wasn't captured, he would have been part of the Wanda and Doctor Strange thing. But anyway.
He would have stopped her. And probably Doctor Strange and Spider-Man No Way Home as well.
Probably
In
do,
the
yeah.
multiverse.
There
The
was a
reason
lot
why
of-
the multiverse is
a
coming
lot of
apart is because he
tampering.
was captured. Whoa!
He's a
Didn't seem like
guardian.
didn't seem like he'd been captured that long. Also, keep in mind,
We don't know how
this
long he was
We don't
content,
know exactly. We don't know.
we don't know, but we know that that stone was not weakening his powers until they put it on it, and it wasn't on him at the top of the thing, so he wasn't captured with the stone on him. That stone was sitting in the thing right next to the dead husband.
You don't have to answer Sway. But anyway, I enjoyed it. For
Nah.
what it was.
But that work. I mean, I don't know how they captured him, but if he is what you said he is, Rich, then he would be the sort of linchpin. And oh, I forgot to mention, the Watcher narrates us into this.
Yes, I loved that. Actually, loved that.
Jeffrey Wright narrated us into
And he
this.
sounded way more
Gravitas.
gravitas.
Jack?
Yes,
Yeah.
he had the weight of the cosmos in this.
Dude. So
He listens to the podcast, Jack. That's what it is.
he listened to our podcast. Well, and I wonder,
He'd be right too.
since it was the Watcher, does this universe even exist in our main Marvel universe? Since we know the Watcher looks over the entire multiverse, we don't even know where this lives. If it
We don't
lives
even
anywhere.
know that our MCU is the main universe.
Yeah, what is our
Grand
MCU?
scheme of things.
We don't know anything anymore.
We know nothing.
Because they
I
haven't
didn't-
elaborated on the multiverse yet.
Right, true.
We don't know.
Because if you go into the comics and you got the different Earths and they're all numbered, but we don't know where we are at with our Marvel.
Do they
universe.
number them in Marvel? DC does.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah, this one
Marvel they
is
have a number.
Earth 616 is where Man Thing comes from.
Look at you.
So, I mean, you
Oh,
know, I do
thanks,
a little
Rich.
research from time
Come
to
on,
time.
Rich. Tell them, Rich.
You know,
I think we're just getting into the multiverse. And how crazy would it be if this whole time this isn't the main MCU? And then we actually get to the main MCU.
I'm so bored.
That's how are you bored? They're giving you your childhood. You know
So
what, Jack?
bored by that.
You know, we're going back to the 90s.
Everything we've been building for the last 20 years is actually nothing. Here's Tom Cruise in an Iron Man suit. Aren't you happy? No.
Yes, yes, you would. Yes, shut your mouth,
Yeah.
Jack.
That might be the one thing. But then what are you going to kill him? You're going to like snap Professor X's and then turn what's his face into spaghetti? It's all for nothing, man. I don't want to see half of those things.
Damn, Jack.
Jack, because of you, we're gonna go back down to superhero movies every 4 years, starring George.
You know
Clooney
what?
with
Quality, not quantity. I'd be okay with that.
No, I want it all.
I
man.
go back
Give
to
me
being
that.
excited instead of let down.
Oh man,
I'm sorry.
you like this one?
I'm sorry.
You like
I
this
just-
one?
That Doctor Strange movie should have been the movie of all movies. It should have been on my list today.
Here we
When
go.
you said
Here
movie
we
that
go.
came out, I should have been like, Doctor Strange, bar none. What are you kidding me? But I can't. You know why? You know why.
It didn't. If y'all didn't realize this by now, Doctor Strange is definitely a thorn in Jack's tuchus, but
Yes.
it's a big old thorn. And he's right. It didn't do it. They couldn't jump on to No Way Home because No Way Home, Marvel's not doing anything with Sony unless they have to. So they weren't going to do anything with Spider-Man that they don't have to do because money. So yeah, money. But Werewolf by Night was dope. Since this is a standalone joint, what rating would you guys give this? 1 out of 10. 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. Where do you rate Werewolf by Night?
Let me get my calculator out.
Yeah, give it a 6, 6.5, 6.
Really?
6.5, 6.
6.5, okay.
6.5. 6.5. It was good.
Okay.
It's good.
I'll
That's
give it a 6.16 because that's the universe that we're in.
6.16.
You are nerding out all over this, and I love it. And I love it.
I'm gonna give it a 6.
6.6.
I'll give it a 6.
I give it an 8. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it an 8. I'm giving it an 8 as well. I'm giving it an 8. As far as, I mean, this is probably for me the best Disney Plus Marvel content we've got.
Oh,
I put this above just about all the shows,
Loki's had some real promise.
except the last 2 episodes was just exposition, my favorite word.
The whole
Just
series ends up
exposition.
being exposition.
But
factoring in Rich's 6.16, that gives us a 7. Yeah.
No, don't put
Sorry.
the 6 one. I just did that for wordplay, sir.
It's
It's
too
a
late,
6.
Rich. I'm not recalculating, Rich. 7. Just give it a 7.
it's a 7. It's a
7.
solid 7. Solid 7.
Like
Rich want me to do more math. What do you think this is from school?
School. So Werewolf by Night gets a solid 7. I would love to see another installment, probably next year, Halloween time. Make it an October thing. Werewolf by Night shows up with another installment with him and Ted. And keep it black and white, man. Keep it Universal Monster. I enjoyed it. Yo, that's our show. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, go to the playlist, man. Go to our channel. We got unboxings. We got toy reviews. We got store toy hunts. Jack got comic book reviews. We got them all. Also go to our Instagram. Check out our TikTok. We're dropping stuff all day, every day. We also got a podcast. Hit the link below. You can hear us go on and on about geek stuff. We love talking about this thing, but we'll see you next time. Same bat time, same bat channel.
peace.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to Three Brothers and a Shot of Milk. We're talking